For DILR, like the major thing what you can do is practice, practice, and practice. So what happens is, like, even if you practice 1,000 sets, you would get the 1,001st set in CAT. So it would be very different than whatever you have done ever. But what happens with more and more practice is that you are get accustomed to what can come. Like, you are getting more familiar with different types of sets. You have the approach how to go for a new question. You have to create that understanding. You have to develop that understanding that how to go for a new set. Now, what you can do for basics is, like, just go for a few arrangement sets, Venn diagrams. There is some games and tournaments questions and some puzzles. Now, direct questions like that won't come in the CAT. There would be a combination of this and that, and there would be new sets made. You have to, like, find solution to them at that point only. But that is the only way you can approach DLR. More and more practice. So for the, as I said, for the basics, you can do this just to know the approach, like how to start solving a question. Now, the major thing is, like, as I wrote here, that you have to solve at least 2-3 sets per day. If you are giving a mock on a day, it's okay. Like, you have done 4-5 sets. Other days also try to keep at least 1-2 sets or 2-3 sets, so that like, you keep on doing practice and you remain in the habit of, like, thinking for it. Now, it may happen that for the initial phase, like, you are taking 20 minutes, 30 minutes for a question, but it is okay, because that is the learning phase. Now, as you learn, as you go on learning, the time will come down, it is for sure. And now, many asked about the resources too. There are a lot of YouTube channels who have made, like, sort of playlists where they have put questions and the entire solution to it. Now, for that, like, just open one video, see the question, try to solve it for 10-15 minutes, give 20 minutes even if you need. After that, and like, even if you can't do it now, try it again tomorrow. That is more essential. Just the thinking part has to be done. Like, you have to think, like, how to do. And if you just go onto the solution, you won't build that approach how to go for a new question. So as I said, in the YouTube, will get a few playlists. Anastasia Sankar is one. They have 200 playlists. A con of doing that would be, like, a few of the sets you would see in the upcoming MCATs, because time usually does, like, copy a few of his past questions, and Shankar sir has, like, solved those questions only, the old mock questions of time. Another one was quantifiers, which I felt was very good, but those are very advanced sets, so you can go for it maybe in the last 1 or 2 months and not at the start. So my strategy was, like, everybody has to bring out their own strategy. So many people usually go for first question, then try to solve it, give it a few minutes, and then again go for the second question, give it a few minutes. And but my strategy was, like, read all the sets in the initial 3-4 minutes. Like, I went to the question paper mode, I read all the questions. Like, it is not possible to read every line in the entire in just 2-3 minutes, so all the questions every line. So I just took an overview of the sets, saw which looks more familiar and can be solved. I may be wrong. I may get to a question, like, it may look simple. It happens. The sets may be deceptive. It may happen that it looks easy. You have given it a little time and then you can't solve it. But what's essential for DILR is to leave that. Many people go for that sunk cost fallacy. Like, you have given it 5 minutes. Now you feel that you would be wasting those 5 minutes. So go on for 10 more minutes and still you have no progress. So it's important that you have take, like, give yourself a sort of a deadline, that if I can't make any significant progress for this 5 minutes, I will leave that set. As I used to follow, like, make an order which set looked more easier or more familiar to me. So I went to in that order. If I can get, like, if I get a very easy question, I will knock it out in 5 minutes. But the timing will go on like this. And regarding analysis, like, solve those sets which you didn't do, because in DILR it may happen that you have taken much time in one set and you have to leave other sets. Now during analysis you may see that it was a much easier set and it looked very difficult. As I said, it can be very deceptive. So feel it, get more familiar with such type of questions. So solve all the sets which you haven't done or got wrong. Even for the right questions that you have got right, just try and see their solution as well. In the first session, as we discussed, like we also like as a group sat together and discussed our strategies. So if there is any better strategy for a question, like a better way of solving, then please maybe note it down somewhere, or if you can remember, it's well and good. So yeah, so even if you are doing a question, see if it can be done in a lesser time, there is a better approach. And try to, like, you can't remember every question, right? So like more and more practice, you may get similar sets. This process will go on for every mock and every day 2 3 sets. So yeah, this is my insight for DLR from my sides.